thing, like that rash I got?
No, you can't talk about the rash anymore because
Oh,
YouTube's
okay.
live. Yeah.
Oh,
Um.
hi YouTube. I don't have a
eh,
rash. Shut up.
yeah. What rash? Okay.
Hmm.
So, um, we'll start in just a sec. I need a number from you
Yeah,
because
yeah,
somebody is editing this later.
yeah.
Uh,
Somebody.
and
We'll figure
Jordan.
it
Uh.
out. I will hit that button now, and I
Do
will
that.
I will record the number. Wait, what number is it supposed to be? 74?
88.
88?
Yes.
Holy shit, that's a lot more
You're a
episodes than I
bit.
thought.
You're a bit off. It's
I'm a bit
okay.
off. Okay. 88.
That's perfect. That's
Okay.
perfect.
So I'm still recording. So let's take the
Okay, I am
full
recording. You should hit us with your
3, 2, 1, go.
guns, and we'll do it.
This is Ebony. This is Ivory. You about to get
Uh-oh.
shot with both. 3, 2,
Two.
1.
Wait, wait, wait. No, 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 no. No,
Oh wait,
you
you're right.
gotta
I gotta
shoot.
shoot and then 3, 2, 1.
I'm so confused. Where even am
It's
I?
it's the morning time.
Yeah,
I'm fucked up. All
we'll
right,
talk about
I'll shoot and then 3, 2, 1. All right. Sorry, Jordan. That was a false start. Uh,
it. 3,
3,
2,
2,
1,
1, go.
go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show, PBnJ podcast show, that is. Episode 88, as you heard from the robot. If you're here for the live stream, you'll notice that there's a bunch of light coming in the window to my right. And if you are, and if you're here after the fact, or even watching this, 18's number, who is this? Which
That's
one of you is messaging us?
excuse me.
Bryce is derailing me already, mostly because Jordan's not here, mostly because we had to record in the morning because we felt bad that we have not supplied a show yet this week.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it was Christmas. Like, don't hate us. We were busy with family. We had pies to eat and like
There was
dreams
pie.
to crush. Like, you
There
gotta
was.
understand that's a thing. But we still wanted to pump something out for you. And Friday in the AM was the only matching schedule for two of us that we
Yes.
could feasibly do. So we threw it together so we could give you guys the love and you deserve.
The whoop whoop, as they say. Yeah.
That good,
Um,
good.
it would be, and I'm sure that next week's going to be probably a little odd too with New Year's, but I mean, who knows? We'll figure it out. Come as we go.
We're professionals. It'll be fine.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We know schedules. We're good at schedule. We're good at
10 a.m.
schedules.
on a Friday. That was on the schedule. You
Yeah,
guys should have double checked.
you should
Maybe if
check
you
the
emailed
fucking
us, you would know.
calendar. Yeah, right. We could email you back. We'd tell you about it. We'd be like, "Hey, FYI, 10 a.m."
Yeah.
Um,
We didn't just find out last night. Shut
no,
up.
yeah, we didn't just talk about this yesterday. It's fine. So yeah, so welcome to the show. Happy to be here. You know, we love doing this.
Very happy to
So
be here.
we got a couple of things to talk about today.
Yep.
It's kind of probably be semi-condensed show. I know I say that, and then we go for an hour and a half.
Yeah. The last time we tried to go for a quick one, it ended up being a long episode, but fuck it. We know timing as well because we're professionals.
Yeah, because we're professionals,
We give the show
obviously.
exactly the amount of time it needs, and that just needed more time than we thought.
Well, this week, just so we're aware, I cannot go past 12 o'clock because I literally have to be walking out of my front door at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
'Cause I have
So
to
we
go to
will
work.
not be doing an hour and a half show. Don't worry.
No, no.
Um, Don't look at the time to see if we're liars or not.
Because again, we're professionals.
We're professionals.
So we got a lot of things to talk about this week. I think Bryce has some really cool stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
I, as usual, have weird fucking shit to talk about. So without
It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. But I actually I had an idea the other day because I was rewatching a James Bond movie because my family has a little bit of a weird Christmas tradition because there was the 12 Days of Bond special that would go on, I think, TBS, where they would show all the old Bond movies and
I
you could
remember
watch
this. I remember this.
and like it was around Christmas time every year for some reason. So my family's like 12 Days of Bond, 12 Days of Christmas. Makes sense to us.
Makes sense to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was rewatching some Bond films as is Christmas tradition.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, I had a thought when I was watching The World Is Not Enough. Or was it The World Is Not Enough or Live and Let Die? I can't
Which,
remember.
how's it go?
Well, essentially, it's the one. No, it is The World Is Not Enough, because that's the one that was Q's final movie. That's the
Okay.
one I'm thinking of. Yeah, because essentially in that movie, the actor for Q actually passed away, and he knew it was coming, kind of deal. So they had like this whole, sending off where he quit being Q and that whole business, and it was all in memory of him, and it was beautiful. But the last thing he does in that movie is he's talking to James Bond. He's like, I've always tried to teach you two things. One, never let them see you bleed, right?
Okay.
And two, always have an escape plan. And with that, the
Interesting.
platform he was
But
standing
I
on
thought,
starts sinking into the floor, and he disappears from Bond's view. And the floor cuts, basically saying, I had an escape route and I'm out.
okay, well, I have two. One thing I'd like to kind of ask would
Yeah.
be, can you quit being an agent? Like, is that a thing?
When you're 100 and something years old, like he was, I'm assuming yes. I'm
Okay.
assuming they're like, we're gonna go ahead and say you've given us literally like most of your life in service. We're gonna say you're not gonna be that guy who fucking leaves and
And
decides to be a dick.
also, I don't think I realized that he had such a relationship um with
With
James
Bond?
Bond. Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. Q was the one constant. He's one of the only people who could give James Bond shit and actually come out on top. Like he would constantly be quipping with James Bond, because you know how James Bond, the classic scene, he'll be in Q's workshop and he's like, "What toys do you have with me?" And he's touching everything, setting off everything, and Q's just like, "Stop fucking this shit. What is wrong with you?" But it was one of those situations where Q always had an answer to everything, and he always had like a quip, and there was most of the time Q would be, in my opinion, the victor in the little battle of wits that they
Yeah.
would have. And that's amazing to me because James Bond is the guy. Like he's the guy.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I just seen so okay, so they're friends or whatever. I guess is kind of what I assume.
Yeah, they're friends, but they almost have like a familial relationship.
Yeah.
And there is a theory that in the James Bond universe, James Bond is a code name and is given to whatever asshole is the current James Bond of the day. So 007 is one code name, and then James Bond is another code name because his just true identity is so secret and important that they just like those are the two things. He's become like a mythos.
And it would make sense with all the switching. I mean, they could
Yeah, and
literally write
it makes
that
sense
into
of
the
the switching of
plot.
actors, and there are certain plot points that occur that certain James Bonds have been married where others have not, and there's like this whole weird situation. So that's how they made it make sense. But Q was constant throughout all those switches. So it's one of
Yeah.
those things where I'm really curious about Q's early days, like
Like, where
before
did
before he was in the workshop, because everything he talks about and his ideas for these various like gadgets speak to me of someone who's had field experience and wish they had something like that when they had field experience. Like I want to see a pre-Bond Q
like
going.
pre-tech?
Well, him. It's basically the ultimate Q movie for me would be him as an agent,
Mm-hmm.
and the technology department not really existing or not being very good, and
Okay.
him just MacGyvering all of his equipment as he
That would
goes
be
along. And so like he's making his spy gear out of whatever's available, so that way he can MacGyver his way through everything. Because James Bond, he MacGyver's using the Q tools in ways that maybe they weren't designed to be used, or had an alternate use or whatever.
uh-huh.
But I want to see Q using the raw materials, making up gadgets as he goes along, so he can survive in the field.
And
Because I think that would be fascinating.
maybe an entire like department of people telling him that, that's not gonna work, or you can't
Maybe,
do
or
this,
or 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 his exploits in this movie, because it doesn't have to be a series. Like a single Q movie with his origin basically as a field agent would be fascinating to me, and his success with the gadgets he's created and the traps he's done and everything he did to outsmart his opponents would spurn MI6 to be like, we want you to be the head of a tech department because we want these gadgets for everyone. what you just did was insane, and we think that you can help.
Oh, see, that would be cool. Like the end of the movie essentially is like, holy shit, what did?
Yeah, we want to start that department, and can you be the head? And he
Why
agrees.
did you even put your phone in your shoe?
And yeah, exactly, like weird shit like that. But the other thing is, they could disguise it as a James Bond film. And then they can confirm after, like, this is a prequel to all the other James Bond films, right? And then they can confirm at the end his code name changing from James Bond to Q, and basically confirming that James Bond is also a code name, and they can bring that theory into it and make it canon.
See, I would like that better. It's kind of like Doctor Who, right? Which I bet, based on the shelf behind me, nobody thought that I liked.
Yeah. What is that, a phone booth? What, are you retarded? Why you got a phone booth on your shelf?
Yeah.
Get the police box. Don't hate me, Whovians.
Yeah, you're actually gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Hey, we're gonna get some email, and it's gonna be people cursing at fucking Bryce for calling him a call. What the fuck? No, but that's how that show works. They switch the Doctor up every couple of seasons,
and it's canon because in the universe it's him regenerating.
And what's cool is you get to write every few years, you get to have like an extreme plot line that ends in like his death somehow through saving people. So then you get this whole cool, and I think that's one of the catches for that show. But they wrote
season finales are really fucking good.
Yeah, because they're extreme. But if you take that theory that every time we've seen a different actor or different actors in that universe playing different people, it's not code names that it's a reboot. It's just that like the director chick in the newer movies can be a different person, has that exact same name when they're doing that job.
Yeah, 100%. Because I'm pretty sure M used to be male too.
Yeah,
M used to be a dude. So like, these have to be code names that are given, and I think it would be really cool of them to like give the fans that moment, and that's a really cool like ending moment to a movie.
Yeah,
like the last line is, "You are now known as Q, James." And then wong, everyone would be like, "Oh shit, this was a Q movie, and James Bond is a code name," and people would be talking about that ending forever. So time stamping this episode. I want this movie made, but I want credit for the idea. So whoever owns,
do you want money or do you want just credit? Like just
I don't know if
this goes out to Bryce of the PBnJ podcast.
I will write it, and then I want money, but I definitely want at the very least credit in there, like a special thanks to or something, just because that'd be so cool to be part of making that. And it's a childhood like fantasy to like have this movie be a thing, because I've always loved Q, and he's always
Is I know that your family does the whole thing. Have you pitched this to any of your family members yet?
No, I haven't talked to anyone about it except you guys, because I only just recently watched it, and I'm a hermit and I don't talk to people. So like
I don't talk to people.
Yeah, I spoke to my dad after Christmas, which was nice. I hadn't spoken to him in a while because I'm a terrible son and I don't call people. So I don't know. It
doesn't make you a terrible son.
All of my family.
I'll go on record right now and be like, doesn't make you a terrible son. People get busy, and also I'm lazy, so sorry. Same boat.
For me, it's more of the also I'm lazy. But yeah, I'm probably going to talk to my family about it soon, but I got to keep it kind of under wraps. This might be big for me. I'm going to tweet some people.
Keep it kind of under wraps, as he puts it on our podcast.
Yeah, that's time and date stamped. So if anyone comes at me, I can post this episode and be like, "No, I talked about it here. This is when the idea was conceptualized."
Right? Show me episode 88, something about your mom's pants. Which I don't know.
That's the name of the episode now. Something about your mom's pants.
There you go. Something about your mom's pants.
I'm writing it in the chat so
we don't forget. Around a minute 47, I talked about it.
They go in and it's just us being like, "We don't know what schedules are," and they're like, "No, you didn't."
No, yeah. Meanwhile, it's actually like it's like 10 minutes later is when we really talked about it.
But they didn't listen that long because they're like, these guys aren't funny.
Yeah, but it's actually a song about how we don't know about schedules. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah,
that's my big movie
I
idea
think
that I
that's a
had.
wonderful idea.
And I think that it would be cool because who doesn't want to see a MacGyver James Bond hybrid? Like
Fuck.
that's just such a cool idea.
And then for it to be a Q origin story, but don't tell anybody. That would be the best
Q
part. It
origin
has
style.
to be a secret movie.
Yeah. Like it's not named Q or anything. And I swear to God, the trailer better not give that final line because you know how sometimes they do that.
Yeah, sometimes trailers, like I think sometimes movies find themselves in this weird situation where they're not good and they have to
100%.
in order to get people to come and watch said movie, they have to essentially put the badassiest part in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unlike Mortal Engines, which looks like it's just going to be gold no matter what.
Yeah, like the writing isn't what's important for that movie. We're going to be tearing that movie apart, but we're going to watch it and laugh.
It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be this year's best comedy, I think.
I think so. Whether they wanted it to be that or not.
Actually, before I don't mean to interrupt you, but you know what a friend of mine always says the best comedy ever made?
What?
Mortal Kombat.
He's not wrong. Those were $300 sunglasses, you son of a bitch. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was supposed to do like a segue thing. I just realized, but I didn't. So, psychics. What about them? Have you heard of them? Florida has them.
Psychics.
Going to Patrick. How's that for a segue?
It was actually, you know what? Best one we've ever done.
I'm pretty sure that's gold.
Oh shit. No, this is actually just a quick. You know me. I didn't really. The article's giant and goes on about a bunch of blah blah blah. No,
and we read 5 words, and now we know all we need to know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know. I know the gist of it because this is.
I mean, we live in Florida, so it's one of those things where we've known about this.
So Old Florida Town has been dubbed the psychic capital of the world. Do you want to guess where I'm talking about?
Oh God, I can't remember what it's called. Oh no. I know there's a psychic shop literally on every corner.
There really is, though. There's only like 4 corners.
Like I've been there. It's a very touristy kind of
Casadega.
Casadega. Thank you. I kept thinking Casablanca, and I'm like, I know that's not right.
No,
this may be the beginning of a beautiful friendship, but that's not the correct place. Like I was just like Casablanca.
You're on fire in the morning.
Castleberry, and I'm like, not Castleberry either. I knew it was.
So this is a little town right over here. It's actually down the road for me. I drive through Casadega on my way to pick Skylar up from school every day. Right. It's been around since the mid 1800s. Apparently, and I didn't know this, but inspired novelists and songwriters like Tom Petty. Has a extremely large number of proclaimed mediums or psychics, right? For some reason, again, I don't know why this is this way, but there's like so much history behind it. So like there's the Devil's Chair, right?
Yep.
Devil's Chair is essentially what looks like a throne, kind of, but I don't think it's supposed to be a chair headstone in their little cemetery they have over there. And essentially, you don't want to sit on that shit. No. I know a bunch of people that have not dead yet. It's
supposed to give like super bad luck, but I don't know how that comes. Like maybe later it'll end up it's made out of asbestos and everyone who sat on it got cancer. I don't know, but.
Well, yeah, but so the town goes back to the 1800s. If you look around this town, like drive down the roads and whatnot, now there are some newer homes, obviously, probably up to the 70s, 80s ish era. But a lot of these freaking houses apparently would just look like they looked in the 1800s. So it has that like small haunted town vibe thing going for it, right?
Right. They have like spirit night tours and stuff. Like the haunted trail tours and all that stuff where they'll visit different places that have like that kind of shit going on. Like they have energy hotspots that they walk you through, essentially,
Mm-hmm.
where there could be like not just like good vibes, but also like spooky vibes.
Well, now I've never driven off to the Casadega Spiritual Camp, right?
Yeah, because there is a spiritual camp, by the way.
Where there's like 60 acres or whatever that has homes on it and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Some what they call a fairy trail, Temple of Honor, and I
Mm-hmm.
guess a bookstore.
They also have a bunch of events there where they'll hold like classes. They'll hold like different church services for
yes,
different religions and stuff like that. And they also have like
but that's the tourist draw, right?
well, yeah, that is
Yeah.
100% the tourist draw. Like they have the historical tour that they always do, where they talk about their history. And they also have a bookstore with like occult stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, well, so apparently though the Hotel Casadega, right, dates
Mm-hmm.
back to 1926, right? It was built as a boarding house for guests who were coming to take classes to see mediums. So even back then, this was like a medium central thing, right?
There were just a fuck
Unfortunately,
ton of
the
psychics who
first
liked it here.
building burned down 1926 Christmas Eve.
Somebody sat on that fucking chair.
Maybe. Within months, they had it rebuilt already. As it stands today, is the same building from 1927.
Mm-hmm.
Right, first one designed to be fire resistant. So it's kind of like they were like, well, the devil doesn't like this building, so we're gonna, make it out of asbestos. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And they've actually filled it with chandeliers, like replica antique furniture, and all this other crazy shit. Now, on a real note, okay, now that's just like the shit this they're going over here. On a real note, when you drive through that city, it's different. Seriously, it does look different. You do kind of escape time a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But what the fuck is with all of the psychics and medians? I don't get it. Like, you come over the bridge and boom, you start to see signs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And some of them are like somebody's house. Well, actually, most of them are in people's houses. Raven Star is one that I can remember because I see the sign all the time. Right?
I think they actually have billboards near the town where it's up on the billboard.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the bigger ones.
So I have family members that actually go to this town around Halloween time to get a reading and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I personally don't believe in that stuff, if we're being honest. I think that there could be spirits, possibly, energies or whatever. Maybe 1 in a million people are sensitive to that, but not the entire town of Casadega. I'm sorry. This is pure horse shit.
From the understanding and the explanation I've got is that for some reason that area is like a psychic hotspot. Like, there are some people who talk about key lines, which are like natural energies that course through the earth, almost like tectonic plates and stuff like that. How where they meet is like the place where the earthquakes happen. It's like a ridge or whatever. There's like lines where the psychic energies from the earth kind of like well up. And because of that, there are people who are drawn there that are just psychics. Like people are just drawn to it.
But yeah, but what's going to happen is, so there's no gas station, no Wawa. There's no the cell phone service in that area is trash.
And there's a fuck ton of like old timey colonial looking houses with like the fucking pillars in the front porch.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I'd be so scared I'm about to be like Salem'd. You know,
well, you're gonna get murdered, and then you're not gonna be able to call for help.
yeah. There's nowhere to go. Like your car runs out of gas, and then you knock on one of the psychics' house, and they're like, "Oh, your car ran out of gas. Who knows you're here? No one. Come inside. Let me use. You can use my phone." Well, and then your heart's being used in some ritual.
Dude, when you look, but like the Casadega Hotel, right? When you drive past it, it looks creepy.
Oh yeah, it looks very.
It looks like a place that I don't want to stay in. Honestly, and not because I'm like there's going to be spirits or something, but because the people that are there are probably equally crazy.
100%,
right?
100%.
So anyway, I have a theory that works that maybe at one point you know, this was a psychic hotspot, and I think that it was one of those scammy type things, right? Because back in the day, that was the scam. You know, either you had some kind of miracle medicine, or you had access to magical powers that allowed you to heal people, you know, or tell somebody's future,
Yeah,
right?
there's a lot of
Like,
healing stuff and like all that shit, which I agree. That's like,
well, that's the scam of the 1800s, man, or
yeah,
the early 1900s, right? I mean, like now
it just never stopped.
well, no, exactly, and in that area, so and in an attempt to keep it
Legitimate.
historical,
Yeah.
they block the city actually blocks development in that area.
Because if it looks like every other city, it loses some of its mystique.
Yes. You know, and I'll give you that, and I'll agree with that. Sure. But I think eventually it's going to cause this town to be forgotten. Which I mean, it's a little, and we keep calling this a city, right? It's more of a town. It's like 8 roads long.
Yeah. I think they have like 3 street lamps or street lights, like,
which is now here's the other thing, right? And then we'll move on. You know, I don't want to run Casadega into the ground, but maybe I do. So Casadega itself is tiny, okay? Just so we understand this. And it is the psychic capital of the world based on the amount of mediums and psychics that you know are self-proclaimed that live there, which means that of all the other super spooky fucking places that you know about, every single one of them, this has the most people trying to tell you your future for $6.99.
Yeah.
There you go. Don't say I never gave you any fucking tourism stuff.
Yeah, I mean, come on down to Florida. You can see our old-timey weird place.
Our old-timey weird place. No, I wanted to, honestly, I found it super interesting because it's right down the road from us.
Yeah, because we live near it. It's one of those things where when you read something online that for being famous for something, because that's the capital of the world, the psychic capital of the world, this small 8th street fucking like that's the capital of the entire world. Like you feel a little like, holy shit, I live like 20 minutes from there. That's cool. Like I'm near a possible national monument.
Oh, hey, look at that. In one more day, my PlayStation subscription is going to automatically renew.
That's going to hurt.
How much are those?
Like 100 and something, I'm pretty sure. For the
I'm just going to let it happen.
Yeah, just let it happen. And when your wife's like, what the fuck is this? She'll be like, oh no, I didn't notice I couldn't cancel in time. They don't do
Oh no. Why am I saying it on my podcast?
Please don't listen to this episode, Patrick's wife. I don't want him to be in trouble.
Don't listen to me. Oh shit. Yeah, so anyway, Casadega's weird. Come to Florida, check it out. So what else we got?
Well, I actually wanted to talk a little bit about some craziness. I don't know if you know this, but did you know that the ruby slippers from The Wizard of Oz were stolen like 12 years ago?
Yeah. Actually, I watched this show called Expedition Unknown. And Josh Gates, cool show. I recommend it to anybody. It's a Travel Channel thing. Oh, hold on. Side note, on Travel Channel, haven't watched it yet, but what's her fucking face from Transformers? The one that quit after like the first 3 movies. Megan Fox. Megan Fox now has a show on Travel Channel where she travels like to like ancient places and like talks to archaeologists and shit. I haven't watched it yet. It looks cool, curious. And Megan Fox is hot, so I'm probably gonna
I mean, sure, but like I'm just curious as to what, because usually with something like that, that's been very overdone. I'm really curious as to what their take on it is, or what's supposed to be different about her doing it.
That's going to be the difference.
If that's the only difference, then that's kind of disappointing.
No, it's going to fail. Come on. It's going to fail.
I don't know. Like,
you know why so the reason Expedition Unknown does so well is because they're very real about being a TV show, and everything everything they do is also real. So like when they're in the middle of the jungle rappelling down the side of a fucking mountain, they're actually in the middle of a jungle rappelling down the side of a mountain to go try to find this thing. And then later on in the season, you get a cool episode where they'll be showing the cutout clips from that.
Yeah, like the fuck ups and like
and how everybody almost died.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, hey, we cut this out because like we can't, but like Jesus.
Yeah, and so I appreciate them for that. Anyway, without super derailing you, they did a whole episode on it. They went diving in a frozen lake where supposedly they were thrown. They interviewed somebody that was in jail that had supposedly heard from somebody that knew where they were.
Okay.
And so I don't know. I don't know if they found it in that episode. I don't actually. Oh, okay. Okay.
And the reason why I know that is because September of this year, the FBI have recovered the ruby slippers in a sting operation.
Nice.
Specifically for them. So basically, there are 4 pairs of these shoes that are in existence, right?
Yes. There was more originally.
Yeah. Well, no. There were 4 that were created in the film. Like four pairs. 4 pairs. Not like 4 shoes. There's 4 pairs. So there's 8 shoes total. Okay. And essentially 2 of them are owned by private collectors. One of them, and by private collectors, I mean like one shoe was owned by Leonardo DiCaprio and the other shoe is owned by I can't remember his name, but he's
super duper rich actor-y type people.
Yeah, and they have them on display in different places or in their private collections or what have you. And these shoes were stolen out of a museum after there was an error that occurred with the alarm system. That for whatever reason the alarm did not reach it didn't call the police like it was supposed to.
Now, hold on. Have you seen the video, the surveillance video?
No, I haven't.
So this I did see in the surveillance video, and the way the cops talk about it, they think inside job. They think that it was left off intentionally, and for them to steal the slippers.
I agree 100% because you don't have accidental alarm failures.
No, you don't.
On one of your most prized possessions. Like, that's not how that works. You inspect that shit, you triple inspect it, because originally, and I also have a theory that maybe the owner might have been part of it in a form of insurance fraud.
Well, yeah, because
he didn't
insurance on those fuckers.
Oh yeah, the insurance on those is like $1 million or some shit. Like, holy shit.
Extra dumb. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, he specifically said he didn't want them to be put in a vault every night because he didn't want them to be handled by the people every day, and he figured the base security of the place would be fine.
I mean, it could be,
and that could be true. But I like to see the
other ones in like the Smithsonian or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, and it's true. But I mean, the Smithsonian is also a higher end museum than the one that this was. So like, I would trust the Smithsonian because the whole place is a vault.
Yeah, but even the Smithsonian doesn't like to touch or move their slippers.
Right, but when it comes to that, they also have the security measures necessary to be able to protect them outside of the vault.
Yeah,
because the whole place is a fucking vault. Like, the Smithsonian locks down like nobody's fucking business when it needs to.
Well, they'll put shit in like airtight chambers. Like, if something's starting to decay from time or whatever, they'll vacuum chamber that bitch, and that's it. It stays that way. Never gets
you don't unseal it. Yeah. And so essentially, this guy here recently, well, like a year ago, he rolled up to the company that insured the slippers, saying, "Hey, I got information about the shoes and how they can be returned." And the way he was talking about it, and the way he was acting, it became apparent that he was really trying to extort the owners of the slippers.
Okay.
And so the Grand Rapids police called the FBI saying, "Hey, we've got this guy trying to extort for the slippers. They're really claiming that they know where they are and, they have information, but, reward money." And it's basically like hostage money.
It was, though, essentially.
And so after nearly a year-long investigation from the FBI's art crime team, FBI laboratory, and field offices in Chicago, Atlanta, and Miami, the slippers were recovered in an undercover operation in Minneapolis. And basically, which is funny because, like, what the fuck? Why Minneapolis? Who hides out in Minneapolis? Like, that's such a fucking nowhere place. I don't know.
No, it is. It is for sure. So they found him in a sting, huh?
Yeah, they found him in a sting. They're very tight-lipped about the specifics because they're saying they want to make sure they got everyone involved. Because they arrested some people, but they didn't release who they arrested. All we know is that the shoes have been recovered, and the agents from the FBI field team transported the recovered slippers to the Smithsonian Institute of National American History, and essentially, that's where the other pair of ruby slippers were on display, and they returned them there to make sure they were the legitimate item. So they analyzed them, and Don Wallace, the Smithsonian conservator who had been working to conserve the museum slippers, he analyzed them and determined not only were they the correct shoes, it ends up that one pair of the shoe, like one shoe was supposed to go to their pair, and one shoe was supposed to go to the recovered pair. Like the Smithsonian had one of the other guy's shoes and their shoe, and then so they were a mismatched pair basically to each other, which is hilarious. And he was like, yeah, somehow over the shoes, the pairs of shoes were mixed up. And he said that the ruby slippers are among the most requested objects by visitors to the museum, and that people's eyes just light up when they see them. And essentially the FBI is still saying, hey, if you guys have any more information for anyone else involved in this, give us a call. So if you guys know anything, there is reward money involved of up to $1 million for information. So y'all want some easy money and you know some fucker who's been talking too much at the bar about how he stole some slippers, hit him up, FBI.
I wonder if, because apparently in that Expedition Unknown episode I was talking about, stuff like the conversation with the inmate that said they knew somebody, you know, who knew about them, the video surveillance and all that other stuff that was shown has never been shown before. So
before that show.
Yeah, so it's super interesting.
I wonder if like when did that episode come out?
I'd have to look. Let's see. Hold on.
Because what I'm curious about is if it came out after September, they might have had footage about them being recovered. Or
I don't remember if. Hold on, Ruby.
Does it have to be a pretty recent episode? The last 2 months.
Yeah. It was. I don't know if it was last 2 months. Season 5, episode 6 premiered July. So this happened right before.
Right before. Oh my god! You know how mad they are.
And well, no, they were working. So in that episode, they were working with the FBI and whatnot.
Oh, they were part of the operation then.
Yeah,
that's fascinating. I wonder if the FBI was playing mind games. Like they were like, "Yeah, we'll help you out, and let's show all this footage and do all this, and basically try and rattle the people, just to fuck with them right before they came in for the kill." Because you know they're not willing to release that kind of stuff until they're sure. You know what I mean? Because if they've never shown the footage before and they're that close to an investigation, they already knew what was going down then.
Apparently, they released a special extended edition on the 5th of September. When did that?
Yeah, no. That let me find the article that I was reading.
When did? As I wonder, when did they locate them?
Come on. I know it was September something. Where are you?
I wonder if it wasn't even the FBI playing mind games, or if they were like in cahoots with them and they were with the TV series. And they're like, well, you guys helped with the investigation by getting information out there. You can be the first to report on.
That'd be my guess, because I think it was September 5th. Ruby slippers recovered.
I wonder.
When?
Ruby sleepers recovered when? When were they recovered?
Why? September 4th was when they were recovered.
Uh-huh.
Yep. That's exactly what that was. They were like, "Hey, come on out. We got your back."
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think that there's any way possible that they were already planning to put out an episode on the 5th of September with follow up or whatever.
Yeah, no, that was them calling and be like, "We're about to arrest these guys. Roll up with your cameras."
Yeah, no shit. I don't remember if it went down that way or not. I think, because they're not really that kind of show, but
yeah, but it's gonna be something.
Yeah, no, it's something.
So yeah, that's another fun-filled fact for all you folks. For all you folks, that was some alliteration. You're welcome.
It was. You know what?
The word of the day is alliteration.
That's why I clapped. I was proud of you. So, all right. Well, you know what? It's only 11 o'clock. Yeah. I have one quick thing to talk about. A little weird, right out of the corner.
Nice.
So
we'll knock it out and knock it off.
Yeah, we're gonna knock it out, jack it off. It's gonna be great.
Okay.
What?
I don't know about that second one.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Is it too early?
I mean, too early on camera.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good job, Popeye. So,
punch your lights up.
Oh man, the kids will never know about Popeye and the horrible TV series that was.
Oh,
and how poor Olive Oyl was a little
for
bit
a hamburger today.
Let's be honest, Olive Oyl, she was only fighting old Pete when Popeye was there to see. Okay.
Well, she had to show out for her mans.
Yeah, exactly. But we know what was going on. Whore. Anyway, so I have a bit of an alien conspiracy.
Ooh.
This woman, now this is actually from last year, this story. I've read it before.
Breaking news.
Mm-hmm. Breaking news from August of 2017. So this woman claims that she is an alien human hybrid. What do you think about that?
No. Probably not.
Well, how about this? So I'm going to read the first little paragraph here. So you may have grown up with a fairly difficult childhood or a simple one. The reasons for having a difficult childhood vary from one child to another. For instance, difficult may be in terms of one child having odd features or having foster parents. Well, Lisa, her greatest difficulty is that she was born as an alien human hybrid. Sorry. So then it tells us to keep reading more about her mysterious birth.
What's her mysterious
Canadian resident?
Oh, God.
All Canadians are aliens. No. So apparently she's 6'3", blonde hair, green eyes.
Okay.
She's always felt different. Well, yeah, you're fucking 6'3".
You're really tall. You're taller than I am. Like, I felt different, and I'm 6'2".
So more outstanding than her striking presence is that she believes what many UFO circles refer to her as a human hybrid. Hybrids are often defined as a child or as the children of abductees who've been subjected to contact with aliens and women impregnated. Now, why they would do that, I don't understand, but whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
The resulting birth leaves a human hybrid, so alien traits, but they tend to lie dormant. Now, the human traits are more active. Now, why? I don't know. It doesn't tell us. Mm-hmm. So something is different, though, and it is perceived, and these human hybrids feel like they don't fully belong on Earth. It's kind of like they're able to tell that they're spooky scaries and that they don't belong here. Exactly. I'm not even sure what this is, right?
That's an alien human hybrid.
Okay.
From XCOM 2.
Good job.
I'll put in there for the Facebook later.
So on the outside, the eyes of human hybrids are often compelling. So when you look at them, it feels like they reach deep into your soul. Well, okay. So I will
For
say
hers, all I gotta say is when I look at them, I'm wondering which eye's looking at me.
yeah, dude, right?
Like she has almost like chameleon eyes. You know how chameleons have the two eyes that are independent of each other and they're like on the sides of the
kind of far
head.
apart. Yeah.
Like her eyes are like just like an inch too far apart. And it's really distracting.
Supposedly they're very intuitive.
Okay.
They sense, feel, and seemingly communicate telepathically. Let's see. These traits are, and more, define Lisa's experiences. Having a mysterious birth, which they still haven't talked about yet.
Yeah, they haven't said what's mysterious about it.
No, they haven't. They just keep talking about how it is.
Like, did she come out?
Lisa shares that just a few of her high strangeness observations interpreted into English through UFO researcher.
Okay.
I have a reason for being here, and it is a little different than other people. But I feel like there are a lot of people like this. What the fuck did you even just say? I don't understand.
I have a reason for being here that's different from a lot of people, but there's a lot of other people who are like me. Yeah. So, one, it's not all that different if you have an entire subsection that's the same. Yeah. Two, you still haven't said what your fucking reason is.
Or what your mysterious birth is, which I'm hoping we're about to get to.
Yeah.
So there is something to be done.
You can't reference like 4 times mysterious
and birth. It's a very heavy burden to have. So according to her, she's the alien human hybrid to fucking save the world.
Okay. So she's the Messiah, the alien Messiah.
Lisa says as she sees herself, she tries to grasp the mystery of what she feels within.
And the mystery of her birth, which is mysterious.
So check out what she has to say. And there's this video here. The video is 15 minutes long. So
fuck that.
We're definitely not going to watch it. And it's just an interview.
And it's just her saying the same shit she's been saying through the interview that was written down, which is my purpose is here. And it's different from other people, and there's other people like me. And I think that this is important, and I was born mysteriously. All right, that's all the time I have. Gotta go, alien shit, bye.
Well, here's the funny part is as you skip through the video, right? She doesn't speak English. A guy essentially is talking and translating for her for the whole time, but she seems to
speaking. Gobbledygook alien, or is it?
No, she is. I don't know what it is because supposedly she's from Canada, so I don't fucking know.
Maybe French.
Maybe it might be French. It could be French. Hold on, let me listen because it was hard to find her talking.
Because it's mostly the other dude translating.
Let's see. I think she's just nutty.
100%. 100%. You can't come up and say, I'm an alien hybrid. I have a mysterious birth, and then not explain the mysterious birth. I'm sorry. There's nothing mysterious about your birth until you tell me what's mysterious about your birth.
So if you, I don't know if you're on the page or not, but at the bottom there's a video, right? Check out what she has to say, and at about like 7:20-ish,
we'll post the article up on Facebook.
Yeah, so we'll share it. So there's nothing,
and then you guys, anyone who knows French, can tell us if it's French.
Here's the other thing: if
she really says what she said,
if she does say something about the mysterious birth, or I missed it in this article somehow, please point it out. But I don't so from what I gather, maybe she didn't know her parents. She was in foster care and her eyes look weird. And she's freakishly fucking tall, which supposedly then she doesn't know about her birth. It's mysterious. And you're freakishly tall. I'm sorry, but I don't believe, as much as I am an alien guy, right? We all know that. We all know it. I'm going to go ahead and say that this conspiracy, this theory, is bunk. No belief. No bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno.
So I'll post this article. It'll be on our Facebook page. You guys can check it out.
And you decide.
Be warned, she looks weird.
A little bit.
Now I don't know if this is like when you first go to this article, there's a picture of this little girl here. This is definitely a doctored picture.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they've with all this shit, it's one of those like, has science gone too far?
Yeah,
You remember those ads? I miss those ads actually because they were pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's just like a goldfish parrot. What? Has science gone too far? And it's just like, Jesus, dude. Like,
I see no issue with a goldfish parrot.
Like, well, not only that, but like, that's when clickbait was still in its fucking like Sasquatch marries Elvis at the supermarket paper, the shit papers. I can't remember what they're called. What did the Men in Black call them? The hot sheets?
The hot sheets. Yeah.
The hot sheets. Like that was when clickbait was the hot sheets of clickbait.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's kind of where it came from, right? I mean, that's
100%.
where we.
That's the origins of clickbait. It's just like, what Sasquatch married Elvis? Well, this I gotta see, and then it's just shit. It's always just shit.
All right, I did already share it to our Facebook, so you guys should definitely check it out. It's hilarious.
Check it out, guys. It's great.
Also, I think that we're gonna go ahead and wrap up because I got to. You got to
skedaddle, and I gotta splash water on my face and face the day. So
So thanks for being here. I know that I did see one or two people in and out.
Thank you
for the live stream. So thank you very much for that. People that watch it after the fact or later on, I know a lot of you prefer to watch the video. Thank you very much. We're working on scheduling, so I apologize for the morning thing. I kind of liked it.
It's a fun little thing to do every now and then,
Yeah,
come on.
So thank you very much. I guess I'll try to plug us. Check us out on Facebook, PB the letter NJ podcast on Facebook. Check us out on YouTube, PB the letter NJ podcast on YouTube. It's actually literally everything. Shoot us an electronic mail.
Yes.
That's again PB the letter NJ, so PBnJ podcast
or
at gmail.com.
on Facebook Messenger. I've actually talked to a few people who've messaged us with either critique or asking questions for further specification on articles and stuff.
Yep.
It's been really cool. So like definitely keep hitting us up on Facebook. That's always fun for me to see.
Yes. And yeah, thanks for listening. I'm gonna go ahead and say that we fucking nailed it. All right.
And then one for Jordan. Nailed it.
No, Jordan's just more like
I nailed it.
Okay, bye.
That was the perfect ending of the episode. I don't care what anyone says.
It really was. It was freaking hilarious. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and kill the live broadcast, kill the video. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Love you. Bye. Okay, bye.
Bye.